Scientists believe that they may have cracked the mystery of famous Leonardo da Vinci's DNA. Life Science reports this by Ben Turner. They could be closer to uncovering a genetic basis for the artist's talent. He wasn't only an artist, he was also a scientist and inventor. Leonardo da Vinci, the great Renaissance artist, inventor, and anatomist, has 14 living male relatives. A new analysis of his family tree reveals this. The new family tree could one day help researchers determine if bones interred in a French chapel belong to this Italian genius. Historians Alessandro Vesozzi and Aldense Sabato spent more than a decade tracing the genealogy of the famed painter of Mona Lisa, and their map stretches across almost 700 years and 21 generations and 5 family branches, and will be vital in helping anthropologists sequence the DNA of Da Vinci by sequencing the DNA of his descendants, the researchers say. Now, beyond establishing the identity of his possible remains, sequencing the artist's DNA could also give scientists a better understanding of his extraordinary talents, notably his visual acuity. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. His visual acuity, his extraordinary talents, and they claim the representatives from Leonardo da Vinci DNA Project, an initiative that aims to use the genetic information to create 3D images of Da Vinci through a process called DNA phenotyping. Of course, we know that talents are not only based on DNA, it also has to do with our upbringing, our peers, our family, our environment. A thousand things have to do with what motivates us. It's not just the DNA. Now, Da Vinci, as we know, was a painter, architect, sculptor, inventor, anatomist, engineer, scientist, primarily self-educated. He filled dozens of secret notebooks with fanciful inventions and anatomical observations to accompany famous sketches such as the Vitruvian Man that I have here, but I only have him from the waist up because, as we know, he's not wearing any clothes in the diagram. So the Vitruvian Man, Da Vinci would write messages coded into his own shorthand, mirrored back to front to hide his studies from prying eyes. And along with detailed drawings of human anatomy taken from observations of dissected cadavers, his notebooks contain designs for bicycles, helicopters, tanks, airplanes, and even how to trying to win a war in Venice where he would use the boats as submarines. Now, in the new study, Vesozzi and Sabato used historical documents from archives alongside direct accounts from surviving descendants to trace 5 branches of the Da Vinci family tree. And according to historians, Leonardo was part of the 6th generation of Da Vinci's. Researchers at Da Vinci's famous history researching history is difficult because only one of his parents can be properly traced. Born out of wedlock in the Tuscany town of Anciano, Leonardo da Vinci was the son of a Florentine lawyer, Ser Piero da Vinci, and a peasant woman named Caterina. Research by Martin Kemp, an art historian at Oxford University, suggests that Caterina was a 15-year-old orphan at the time of Da Vinci's birth. Now, it's also been reported at the age of 5, the young Da Vinci was taken to his family estate in the town of Vinci, from which his family took their surname, to live with his grandparents. When Da Vinci died in May 2nd, 1519, he was 67 years old. He had no known children, and his remains were lost, meaning there was no reliable DNA to analyze, and as a result, parts of his ancestry have become shrouded in mystery. Leonardo's original burial was recorded at the chapel of Saint Florentin at the Château d'Amboise, a manor house in France's Loire Valley. The chapel was left to ruin after the French Revolution, and later the chapel was demolished. Contemporaneous accounts allege that a full skeleton was exhumed from the site and moved to the nearby St. Hubert Chapel, but whether or not they are actually Leonardo's bones remains a mystery. The new family tree starts in 1331 with family patriarch Michel, revealed 14 living relatives with a wide variety of occupations, including office workers, a pastry chef, a blacksmith, an upholsterer, a porcelain seller, and an artist. The researchers will determine whether these human remains from the Loire Valley Chapel actually belong to Da Vinci by comparing the Y chromosome in those bones to the Y chromosomes belonging to Da Vinci's male relatives. The Y chromosome is passed from father to son, as we know, and remains virtually unchanged for as long as 25 generations, according to the researchers. In addition, finding fragments of Da Vinci's genetic code could help art historians verify the authenticity of artworks, notes, and journal entries supposedly created by the Italian Renaissance man by comparing his discovered DNA with the DNA traces found on these documents. So that's amazing. It's like a forensic audit of the documents supposedly written and created by, of course, Leonardo. The research published their findings July 4th in the journal Human Evolution. And this is from, obviously, July 4th, just a few days ago. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.